I think we want to start by taking a look at a team that, because they play in the middle of the night, because we're Eurocentric here in London, we don't get to talk about as often other than saying, ooh, they're really, really good. And that's Brazil. And who better to do it with than our new colleague at ESPN, Luis Miguel Echegaray. Luis has come on board. He's got his own show on YouTube called Takeadito. It's a takeoff on tiradito, that delicacy we all love. But Luis Miguel, let's get straight into this. They played Tunisia. They walloped Tunisia, just like they walloped Ghana earlier.
Are we surprised at all at this, by the way? Are we surprised by Brazilian might? I mean, 5-1 against Tunisia. But hello, everybody. Gab and Juls. I'm so happy to be here. Finally, I get the call. I love it when Gab calls me, right as I'm having lunch with my teacher wife. She has one day off a year. And that, on the day off that we're having a good time, Gab Marcotti has to call me and ask me to be part of the show. But I had to say yes. So very happy to be here. But let's get into Brazil. Basically, guys, it's the same blueprint that we've been expecting from Coach Chiche ever since really he joined in 2016. But now they're looking like the real deal. And it's been going for a while. And it's no surprise to me why they're the favorite to win this at this point. Argentina would probably be number 2 after that. But 5-1 against Tunisia, 65% possession, 18 shots, 10 on target. Rafinha gets a brace. Richarlison gets a goal. Neymar penalty. And Pedro, by the way, top goal scorer, Copa Libertadores. This is a team that's really given me the feelings of the 2002 squad. Obviously, the last time Brazil won a World Cup. And it's got everything. The only question will be, can they finally jump that hurdle and that drought? Because Brazilians have been now aching for this for 20 years. But they're looking good, Gab. They're looking very, very good.
They're often very strong going into a World Cup. They're often amongst the favorite. They often look good. And he feels that this time there's something a bit different. Maybe it's because it's Chichi's last tournament and that after that he will go, and I think there's a feeling that maybe this is the perfect ending if they go and win it, and imagine the sending off would be incredible. Is it because it could also be Neymar's last World Cup? Is it because the balance is better? Is it because they've got the right mix between the more experienced players like the Thiago Silvas, etc., and the younger generation like Vini? Is it because most of the key players are playing super, super well right now? I don't know, but it does feel, Gab, there's something a bit different this time.
Yeah, I think form definitely matters going into the World Cup. What I really like, you talked about balance there. I kind of feel like Chiche's Brazil, they've always been balanced. Obviously, they haven't always won World Cups, and they haven't. But he's been there, I think, since 2016 or 2015 or whatever. And I think this team plays like a club side. Even when you had players who were there before and maybe they're now gone, there is a ton of chemistry there. My one question mark is at some point, he's going to have to, we talked about there's so much talent up front, he's going to have to make decisions in terms of who to start. I mean, there's some, I think right back might also be a question mark or whatever. Yeah. Danilo, he tried Eder Militao there. But up front, all right, we take it for red that Neymar is going to start. Do you pick the other two on form? Is Vinicius also an automatic choice in this Brazil team, the way they play? And then who's the third? Or fourth.
Yeah, I mean, listen, part of the issue with Chiche is like, woe is me, right? Too many cooks in the kitchen. Look at this talented roster that Brazil have. You mentioned, offensively speaking, there is no issue. And to Jules' point, there's also an emotional mountain that this Brazilian side wants to cover, just because Chiche's last World Cup. Neymar's not necessarily his last World Cup, but definitely the last World Cup where he can be a true headliner. So he's the pinpoint man. There's no doubt about it. But the beautiful thing about Neymar Jr. in this Brazilian side is that he's not, okay, this is a weird thing to say. There's not really a specific position to title him as when he joins the first 11. He goes everywhere. He goes as a striker. He drops as a midfielder. So what do? You have to build it around him. So Lucas Paquetá, of course, is a major factor when it comes to supporting that. You mentioned Vinicius Jr. He will definitely start. And then Richarlison, for all the criticism that sometimes he gets in the Premier League over the years, I can't tell you how adored he is with this national team. And he will be at this point that number 9. Now, Gabriel Jesus wasn't selected for this squad, but I do believe that he will be obviously there as well. But it's all about Neymar.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.